weather. My sciatic nerve, I hit my knee and I've been in so much pain. Now it's my knee again. Mm. Ah. See if we get some people in the room. Mm. Hello. See if we get some people in the room. Wait a few minutes. Get some people in the room. Alrighty, so now let's get started. And of course, not the dog acting crazy because it's a black cat out front that just stay here. But 50 Cent 100 million Planet Hollywood deal aims to take Times Square location to the next level. So he putting a Planet Hollywood in Times Square. 50 Cent says he's taking the energy of Planet Hollywood's Times Square location to the next level as part of a newly announced $100 million deal. As first reported by TMZ, because it ain't true if it ain't on TMZ, the deal finds 50 partnering with Planet Hollywood owner Robert Earl for PH Live, billed as an entertainment hub and nightlife spot that will serve as the locale for everything from pop-up shows to film premieres. Wow, that's a good deal for 50 Cent. The report adds that plans are also in motion to potentially expand the PH Live brand to other areas, Louisiana among. Hey, the kids. Hey, Jennifer. Hey. Um, Louisiana is among them. Notably, already has a sizable business connection to the state in Shreveport, specifically thanks to its strong G Unit film and television presence in the region. 50 Cent is typical 50 Cent fashion commemorated news of the PH Live deal with an Instagram post. 50 Cent expands empire with a 100 million Planet Hollywood partnership in New York City. Oh, that's a hell of a deal. Wow, so they're gonna have live shows and everything else. 50 Cent makes good. Oh, you going on your first trip? Where you going? 50 Cent makes good on Diddy document dot promise. Donates 500,000 to nonprofits. Wow. Oh, 50 Cent says he's a J. Cole fan. Oh shoot, that's just taking me too long. Nope, I'm not doing that. Oh man. Never mind. All right, let's see what else going on with 50. He said he walked with Mary J. Blige and Big Boy. So he's selling G Unit clothes. He's selling G Unit jump jogging suits, sweatsuits. 50 Cent accuses ex of attempting to defame him in court filings amid life rights legal dispute. He filed a motion in support of the request for G Unit Books to seal portions of his ex, Shakita Thompkins' court filings, claiming she's been using their legal dispute over her life rights to try and ruin his reputation. According to the affirmation viewed by Complex, 50 Cent has accused Tompkins of inserting inflammatory and defamatory allegations about him based on purported events from decades ago. The rapper and mogul argued that these allegations are unrelated to their current legal matter and were already brought up in a previous lawsuit that was dismissed with prejudice. In the motion, 50 expressed his belief that Tompkins has treated her pleadings as a way of making public statements about him due to what he considers to be a personal animus. If Tompkins' inflammatory, defamatory allegations, her pleadings are permitted to enter public record without restriction, the resulting harm to my personal and professional reputation will be immediate, severe, and irreversible. G Unit Books filed suit against Tompkins last year, claiming that she signed a life rights agreement in 2007 following her split from 50 Cent. The company is seeking no less than 1 million from Tompkins, claiming she breached their contract by exploiting those rights in a series of videos that shared online. Dang, so he's suing his ex for 1 million. Now she says, fearing for her life and my children's life, I signed the agreement under extreme duress. A judge denied G Unit Books' request for an automatic default judgment earlier this month after Tompkins missed deadlines pertaining to the lawsuit. She was given more time to respond to the suit. Wow. So he just opened his 950,000 square studio down in Louisiana. And you know, T.I. and 50 Cent, they got their beef. I don't think I'm gonna get into that. All right, so now we're getting into this videos. 50 Cent versus Floyd Mayweather. Okay, so let's talk about the Business Insider article that ran. Yes. We debunked this reporting, but the gist of it was that Dan Geiger, the BI reporter, said that you didn't do the $400 million Black Spruce deal. And you sued BI and Geiger for defamation recently. You said that Geiger harassed you and your family through hundreds of phone calls, and you also said his reporting was racially biased. What do you hope to get out of suing Geiger? Why did you do that? Well, I'll leave it to the judge. I'll leave it to the lawyers. I just want the people to know I'm 48 years old. I know you guys want to talk about real estate. Everything I'm doing is to answer the question is. That is a real estate question. Okay, so out of 48 years, I'm 48 years old.
And I've never sued a media outlet. The media outlet throughout my life has bashed me, talked bad about me, spoke bad about my family. Now, I've always been judged because how I have presented myself when I'm promoting a fight. You cannot judge me for entertaining the people when I'm promoting a fight. Judge me for the person that you know. You can't judge me if you don't know me. So there's no different from people in this room may want to do a deal with me. But if someone going out there putting lies on my name, putting lies on me and my team and my family and hurting my business, we're not talking about millions. We're talking about billions of dollars. We can't do that. So this is my first time ever filing a lawsuit against a media company for speaking bad about my company. I'm not a liar. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a liar. I worked hard to build my name, to build my reputation, and I'm not gonna let anyone go out there and smear my name and talk bad about me, talk bad about my family, and talk bad about my company.
All right, one more toughie. So
Nothing is tough.
no, okay.
After being in the sport of boxing, dealing with the sport of boxing, there's nothing that's tough.
Fair. So that article sparked rumors that you were bankrupt. How do you respond to that? I don't think you have publicly responded to that.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I mean, if we go having 2 private jets, owning 100 buildings, being able to do what you want to do, if that's bankrupt, then I'm pretty sure everybody want to live like that.
Right. That's all. That's all.
Yo, it's Big Ed, the spokesman, maybe back. Another edition of Urban
This
Politician
is
TV.
Urban Politics.
UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in. It's the Floyd Mayweather big purchase conversation that came up on the timeline once again. As y'all see right there, he got the interview with the real deal and like a little seminar situation with business and real estate conversations. And I have a link in the description where y'all can watch that in full. And as we have already seen, 50 Cent has been very involved in critiquing, taking shots at Floyd Mayweather. And when this came across his desk, he did nothing other than that. But if that's the case, it's going nowhere because you didn't do the deal, champ. He must have named the writer separately to make him have to pay his own legal team. The champ is mad, and 50 most definitely promoted his brands and everything with that because 50 Cent has came into question about this deal that Floyd Mayweather has struck, showing his real estate businesses. People started diving into it. Floyd Mayweather has been defending it. But I just realized he put this $100 million lawsuit in against Business Insider, saying that they have been going at him for a long time now, coming at his family, coming at his team, and saying these derogatory things and defaming him. So he won $100 million. The suit lost in the Southern District of New York, names Insider Inc. and reporter Daniel
So
Goggins.
50 Cent been trolling him. Because I realized it was my cousin, because I used to think that 50 Cent was just act like a girl, act like a bitch. But my cousin did tell me, he was like, no, he a troll. He just be trolling. This is Bang 'em Up Smurf. This is Rap Magic.
God Brew, Southside Jamaica, Queens, Feed the Wolves. You already know what it is.
You got to feed the wolves. You got to feed the wolves.
Gotti, man. Shout out, man. It's been a long time. Domination Home, by the way. Shout out to the real one.
Let me get that.
Domination Home, by the way. I've been having a good time out here shaking and moving, man. Okay, that's good, Smurf. That's good to hear, man. Yo, Smurf, I want to get straight down to the middle of this shit, man. I want to ask you this, man, because I did a room with this nigga Wag 100 one time on Clubhouse, right? And he said some shit, and you was there during this album was being made, man. He said that Game wrote "What Up, Gangsta." Please, Smurf, let the people know that Game wasn't even around when 50 wrote "What Up, Gangsta." Remember that was the Get Rich or Die Trying album. Game wasn't even signed to us yet then. Like 50 had majority of them songs before he went to Drake, and Dre just switched the beats up. You dig? But nah, that's no way. That's cap, you heard? Yeah, was already done before we met Gabe. Yeah, cause Smurf, you know, cause when Son came in my room, man, him and Wack was trying to act like they was dead and they helped out. I'm like, hold on, man. That's why I said before, Wack wasn't even a manager at the time. So Wack was just straight capping because Jimmy Henchman was the manager at the time. Wack wasn't even around or even in the picture. You dig? So Wack is a guy who just like good content. He just do stuff for content. Like,
Right, that part.
like, we never even heard of Wack before. Like, what work he put in? What he did? Like, for real, all I know Wack for running his mouth. Like, what work he put in? You never heard of Wack in the street, you know what I mean? So, but that's Cap though. He wasn't even around for that. The G-Unit management when Gang was under 50. He wasn't even around. It was Jimmy Henchman, the manager at the time. Okay. Yo, so Smurf, man, I know when you said when you first met Son, he was jacking the Crips when you was at the in the club shoot and shit. I remember you said that. Yo, Smurf, that's a fact. Yeah, Smurf, you know, I was listening to like 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, Suge had did an interview with all the dialogue, and I know you was at the end of the club video shoot. And I want you to clear this up cause Suge put it out there that the police came, and ain't nothing really, niggas was running out, and he smacked one nigga. Like, what really happened at that shit? That's Cap. You know, Suge had to make himself look good, because he really did get run down with them Mexicans, you right? So at the end of the day, that's Cap. Suge ain't get a chance to slap nobody. Suge ain't even come outside. Everything happened outside, you right? So all that's Cap, you right? No police was around, none of that, you right? So that's Cap. We ran Suge ass up out of here. Him and them Mexicans. So Smurf.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to keep this for Suge Knight. 50 Cent versus Big U.
When I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago. All right. I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. When I go places, I check in. And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now who are actual gang members who have been robbed for that shit. Real killers. Like, who really real killers. Like, if he ever find out who did that, he gonna knock everybody dead. You understand what I'm saying? You just cross it. Like, Lane, we've been coming to LA since 204, 205, and, like, this ain't never check into nobody. No. You know what I'm saying? It's just go to their hotel and move militant. You know what I'm saying? When you move around the city, bro, you gotta be careful. And that's just, we dealing with G-Unit. It's had a lot of drama. So you have to move militant. They just going to the mall, just going here with jewelry on and this and that. You gotta move militant, bro. The rap game is a crazy place where street politics, gang ties, and power plays were happening.
50 Cent tells why he was never scared. Let me get there.
Example, Nipsey Hussle, Big U's former protege and one of the most respected voices in hip-hop before his tragic death. Nipsey wasn't just a rapper, he was an entrepreneur, a community activist, and a symbol of hope for a lot of young people growing up in the struggle. Big U, whatever, it was never a question. I knew how much love you have for bro. The Matt Hoffa podcast and broke down the Pop Smoke murder. According to him, having business, him and his brother Lewis and the crew, and without him saying,
I want to get to where 50 Cent.
We was almost boxed in. And I'm at a young age, too. I'm like, Hollywood. Hollywood Boulevard. And whatever he meant by that. But him, always reached back and ran his homeboys from the street and gave him jobs. So, about 30 minutes. His son cracking, now 495 and he's pumping for 50. Wow. He had the whole block pumping. Like, after 50 did what he did, like 50 ain't backed down. 50 was banging out. And I know 50 was whooping ass, because 50 was a big box in that. Talking about rappers, walk the walk and talk the talk. Our next rapper is the type of guy to keep his cool in the face of a bunch of angry locals. Dressed in blue, trying to start something. We're talking about Waka Flocka. In the year 2020, Waka.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and delete that.
I remember Eminem, he called me in the room, he played 50's music, and it was like, I think I want to to sign him.
Well, manager gave me a copy of Guess Who's Back. Yeah, because he has a copy of a mixtape that I put out.
It was the one where it's kind of the black and white cover, and he has the he got the hat on, the blue on the back. So, well, he always has on. Yeah.
Within the first couple of the songs, I was like, yo, he's back.
I listened to it, I was like, oh shit, this must be crazy. Because you can hear it in the music.
When I got the phone call that I was interested in the project that I wanted to meet, it was like completely non-traditional. It was like Friday night he's calling me, so I had to fly to Los Angeles that Saturday. I almost didn't make it. The guy stopped in the airport. I had my vessel.
The music, I was amazed. But to see what he's done with not only his TV presence, and it's his business, and his trolling is right up there too. I remember Eminem, he called me in the room, he played 50's music, and it was like, I didn't want to sign him.
My manager gave me a copy of Guess Who's Back. He had got his hands on
50 Cent versus Young
I
Buck.
remember Eminem, he called me in the room.
Oh, shoot. Damn. I done messed up.
I remember Eminem, he called me in the room, he played.
You got to this now. This nigga. You done bought some cars. Luke was the type of nigga going to come back home. He done spent $250,000. My group is the average person's rich. You know, if I got $1 million, I'm broke. And he got the bed with the TV plumbing out. Here come the tax bill. When you owe us another $200, you're like, oh, how does this work? When you make money, you're not realizing about taxes. You know how shit go. Start spending money. You don't know what taxes is and all that. I ran into the whole same situation from the beginning. Being frustrated, giving money. I never paid taxes in my life. And you just pick up the money and when they go, yo, fifth man, I need that. That's wild. You got $175. Then you be looking at it like, yo, that's a hell of a loan. Just because you got it, I'm like, no, let me buy $300, man. I spent $250,000. Just now.
50 Cent didn't give it to him. 50 Cent didn't give it to him.
I spent $250,000. Know when you did In the Club that was going to become like the third most popular birthday song ever. It was a nightmare. 50 Cent was so hot with that damn In the Club record. The song In the Club, I knew it was good. I didn't know it was going to be that big, you know. So I'm like, all right, the beach. And that's the sheet that connected the dots lyrically. I'm like, go shorty, your birthday. I turned the room, everyone in the office, and I said, yo, buckle up. We have a music. Man, I'm telling you, man, you got a chance right now. Just flood it with a lot of music because 50 Cent is coming in the club getting it was over. And he's with Jimmy Ivy, Dr. Dre, Eminem. Did you know that when you did In the Club, that was going to become like the third most popular birthday? $250,000. You got to this man. This thing.
And that's still the jam. 50 Cent with Baby.
We heard that there was some turmoil. We didn't understand it.
Lil Wayne took to Twitter and aired out his grievance. He tweeted, I'm off the stable and nothing to do with these people, but unfortunately, it ain't that easy.
And then, I don't know if it was you or somebody talking about it. Brian's like, yo, that's family. Stay out of family business. Shout out to my partner, 50 Cent. Yeah. I just know that they had a father-son relationship. And that could easily be something that they communicate between the two of them. 50 Cent said that, like, man, that's family business. I'll stay out of that. Be careful with the things that you say about that Dwayne and Baby situation. Because Baby will forgive Wayne for the things that he's saying, and Wayne will forgive Baby for the things that he's saying, but they may not forgive you. Honestly, I ain't like none of that because that particular stuff hurt. Right. A lot of people that were in his business, you know what I mean? Like, it was misleading to me. When we heard that there was some turmoil, we didn't understand it.
Lil Wayne took to Twitter and aired out his grievance. He tweeted, I'm off the stable.
He was right about that. 50 Cent and Jay-Z, because he said he doing a documentary on Jay-Z. They into it.
There was some turmoil. Let's get it straight. Nobody's afraid of 50 Cent. I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent. At that point, his safe presentation, even the glasses, what the glasses represent? Intelligence, right? A nerd. What are some of the things that come along with being a nerd? Like, don't hit a college. He's not identifying with the transition and difference and the perception of Jay-Z. Now he's really safe, and people feel comfortable with him because they know he's not going to do anything inappropriate or try not to. Meanwhile, he's saying he's not afraid of 50 Cent. Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked him if I'm afraid of Jay-Z? In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling record sold 2 of them sold 5 million. So there's a huge difference in who we are with each other internationally. Let them be fooled in America. Jay goes, let's get it straight.
Damn, he right, damn, he broke that shit. I gotta give, he broke that down. Shit, let me move this video over to Jay-Z when I do Jay. Right now, I'm gonna delete that over here. Now back to Floyd Mayweather.
50 Cent goes off on Floyd Mayweather for
This
filing
is
a lawsuit that
Poetic
plays into his
Blanco.
own delusion. Floyd Mayweather cannot live with the fact that he got exposed and everybody knows that he was lying. Now, this video was 2 parts. Part 1 would explain exactly what's been going on with Floyd Mayweather and Business Insider and why he's filing a lawsuit. And then part 2, we would touch on 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather.
So let me
what's
get to
going
the
on
50
as lately as today. Which are usually updated within days of a sale. Several experts say.
Let me get to the 50 Cent part.
If you're somebody who have a brain, you can look at the situation, Captain about another building. They say, yo, you got this building on your website. Do y'all own this building? Their response will shock you. On this property website, Mayweather property. But in fact, the article did the opposite. I've seen enough
Okay, here we go.
Floyd Mayweather was lying. At the very least, Floyd misrepresented the facts of this $400 million deal that he funded with all his own money is cap. But on the other end of the spectrum, I feel like the worst case scenario is the Floyd Mayweather just absolutely lied. Fraud completely. Now, Floyd is still trying to retain some form of integrity when it comes to his reputation. So Floyd Mayweather have announced that he's suing Business Insider. Well, not really Business Insider, which I thought was odd. He's suing the writer, personally. He's suing the writer himself, not Business Insider. He's suing the person who wrote the article, which to me, it feels like bullying because the person who wrote the article probably don't got lawyers or backing, opposed to suing Business Insider and knowing this is really going to take a lot of money, which is odd. But Floyd was asked about this at the press conference with the company that allegedly did the fact check or the defendant of Floyd, while also confirming the exact same thing that Business Insider said. So here's Floyd Mayweather explaining why he's suing.
We're getting the 50 Cent.
Now, if you're trying to sue somebody for doing their independent research, calling people associated with the deal.
Okay.
After being in the sport of boxing, dealing nowhere because you didn't do the deal, champ. He must have.
Nope, I want to put this. Nope, I want to put this back on my Floyd Mayweather. Hold on. Oh shit! It ain't letting me do it.
We got issues over here. He's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is. You think he should step back in the ring? I think he got to right now because the money gone. So the money's really gone. And that's what you think. Is fight, get the money, spend the money, fight. All that money. It took more than 2 years. So is it just his overhead is so high on a day to day, month to month, like, I don't even look to talk about. Like with the lifestyle, that money's going. Trust me. I was like, call him. He'll be at your, your local host, the nightclub, because we need that action right now. I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather. 50 Cent and Stephen A. Smith exposed Floyd Mayweather's financial collapse, claiming the boxing legend went bankrupt despite his flashy image, adding fuel to their ongoing feud. 50 Cent further wasted no time calling out Mayweather's false portrayal of wealth, highlighting how his money talks didn't match his reality. People say we've got all the money in the world. We're going to burn it. We'll get it again. So what? 50 Cent said, slamming Mayweather's arrogant attitude toward money. 50's words hit hard, pointing out how Floyd's constant boasting about riches made it even more embarrassing when his financial empire came crumbling down. The rapper accused Mayweather of living in a fantasy world, while real financial struggles were behind his showy lifestyle. The more Floyd brags, the more people look for his downfall, a sentiment many of his critics seem to agree with. As tensions continued to rise, 50 Cent didn't hold back from revealing how Floyd's obsession with money had painted him as a target. He stated, they watch it for the opportunity to see him lose, right? Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. These words reflected the deeper resentment many felt toward Floyd's need to flaunt his wealth. And now it seems karma has caught up with him. This wasn't just a shot at Mayweather's ego, but a warning to anyone who lives by the money-first mentality. The collapse of his financial empire has left fans questioning his entire persona, and 50 Cent made sure to remind everyone that it's not just about how much you have, but how you handle it. Floyd's arrogant attitude towards money has led to his financial fall from grace, and now the public is reveling in the truth behind the facade. Following 50 Cent's scorching remarks, Oscar De La Hoya also couldn't resist taking a shot at Floyd Mayweather's financial mess. The boxing legend's rival added fuel to the fire, mocking Mayweather for his apparent financial troubles. With tensions between the two escalating, De La Hoya didn't hold back.
I like De La Hoya. I do. Oh, massive explosions in Iran. Oh, Lord. I gotta get back to Iran. 50 Cent and Jay-Z, they
50
going
Cent
at
is
it.
back at it again, throwing shots at Beyonce and Jay-Z. This time he's hinting there might be serious problems in their relationship. People have been speculating for a while that their marriage isn't going well, but 50 took things up a notch. Fans are already calling this Beyonce's flop era because her Cowboy Carter tour didn't sell out like expected. Now, there are new whispers that Jay-Z may have cut her off financially, and she's having a hard time handling things without his support. So does this mean a divorce could be around the corner? And why is 50 Cent getting involved in this at all? Anyone who's followed 50 Cent knows he's never had a soft spot for Jay-Z or Beyonce. He's been going after Jay for years, and now he's dragging Beyonce into the mix, too. To understand how we got here, we need to look back at how their drama began. It all started in 1999 when 50 Cent released his breakout track, How to Rob. The song was full of name drops and jokes aimed at some of the biggest artists in the industry, including Jay-Z. At the time, Jay-Z was already established, while 50 was just getting started. A lot of people thought 50 called out big names just to grab attention, and it worked. Jay-Z wasn't the only one targeted. 50 also mentioned Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Diddy, Missy Elliott, Will Smith, and others. But his line about Jay-Z really stood out. He rapped, "What just sold like 4 milli? He got something to live for." Don't want a man putting 4 through that Bentley coupe door. That got a lot of reactions. Some artists fired back quickly, but Jay-Z handled it differently. He didn't respond right away, but when he did, it left a mark. Jay finally answered, with a line on the track, Some Like It Hot, where he said, "Go against me? You're dense. I'm about $1. What the fucking is 50 Cent? It was short, but hit hard." Years later, 50 admitted he was just trying to get attention. In a Rolling Stone interview, he said he felt honored that Jay-Z even responded. He wouldn't have said anything if he didn't think I was worth it, he said. My career probably wouldn't be where it is if he hadn't responded. But even after that, the tension between them didn't disappear. 50 made it clear that part of his issue with Jay-Z was Jay's ego. In another interview, he said Jay had a king complex and acted like he was untouchable. He even joked that Jay thought he was Jesus because of the way he carried himself. 50 didn't like the subtle jabs Jay would throw in his lyrics either. To him, that was a cowardly way to deal with things. Jay-Z tried to play down the drama and claimed there was no real beef. He said everything was fine between them, but 50 quickly shut that down. He said they were definitely not cool and that they weren't friends. "We don't have that that kind of relationship, he said. We're in the same industry, but that's it. We don't call each other just to talk. So if the tension was always just between 50 and Jay-Z, why bring Beyonce into it now? Well, apparently Beyonce once confronted 50 herself. She didn't like how he was coming at Jay-Z and wasn't afraid to let him know. According to 50, Beyonce actually ran up on him and tried to confront him face to face over the disrespect. This happened even before she and Jay were officially a couple, but she was already defending him back then. 50 said he was shocked by how bold she was, especially since he didn't expect her to step in like that.
That's Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, bro. So how was it there? I'm talking to Jay.
Of course, 50 Cent, being who he is, couldn't help but turn the whole thing into a joke. Honestly, just the idea of Beyonce getting into a physical fight with 50 Cent over Jay-Z is something no one expected. It sounds like something straight out of a wild movie scene. But apparently, that situation nearly happened. And if you've ever wondered whether Beyonce has that same bold energy as her sister Solange, well, this moment suggests she might. 50 Cent himself admitted he almost got jumped by Beyonce once. And honestly, that alone should have made him think twice before saying anything else to get on her bad side, especially when it comes to sensitive stuff like ticket sales. But this is 50 Cent we're talking about. He's known for joking around, being blunt, and not holding back, especially on social media. So it's no surprise that even after that intense moment with Beyonce, he's still throwing shade. This time about the sales numbers from her latest tour. Now, this isn't the first time 50 has taken a jab at Beyonce. When she dropped her country-inspired album Cowboy Carter, 50 couldn't resist making a sarcastic post on Instagram. He shared, "My country album on the way. Beyonce ain't goddish on me lol." It was clearly meant to be funny, but at the same time, it felt like he was low-key throwing some competition her way. To be fair, though, 50 Cent isn't always on attack mode. Over the years, he's actually shown support for Jay-Z on a few occasions. One of those moments was when rumors started spreading online about Jay-Z being involved in a very serious legal case, accusations that later appeared to be false. 50 reacted by saying, "I just hope things are okay with him emotionally, especially at home." The statement mentioned his daughter being around 13, which is the same age as the girl in the allegation. Even if the claims aren't true, the damage is already done just by the accusation. Despite moments like that, 50 didn't hold back when it came to criticizing Beyonce's tour ticket sales. Before the tour even began, there were already whispers that it might not do as well as expected. And just a few weeks after tickets became available, reports started popping up that the concerts weren't selling out the way fans and organizers hoped. This raised a lot of questions, especially because Beyonce is usually known for selling out massive arenas in minutes. One major thing fans complained about was the high ticket prices. Some of the seats were priced at around $5,000. And shockingly, that wasn't even for VIP access. With the way the economy is struggling right now, a lot of people felt those prices were completely unrealistic. Many fans said it seemed disconnected from reality. Like the team behind the tour wasn't considering how hard it is for everyday people to afford those kinds of luxuries. People weren't shy about their opinions either. Social media was full of comments calling out the pricing strategy, saying Beyonce was pushing too hard with those ticket costs. But that wasn't the only reason some believed the tickets weren't moving. Others think that the controversy surrounding Jay-Z could also be affecting her image, and by extension, the tour. The scandal they're referring to involves very serious allegations against Jay-Z. It goes back to 2000. Right after the MTV Video Music Awards, a lawsuit was filed claiming that music moguls Sean Diddy Combs and Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, were involved in a shocking incident at an after-party.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. Oh, now we back at Big Meat.
All the games, all the jokes, all the bullshit.
Tell your
Where
response to
all
50
of that has
Cent.
come to this point. We need to have a talk.
Shorty pulling up, and they see I don't want to hear nothing. I'm coming to him. He better get ready.
But y'all believe this will finally stop running. Definitely the right time. Definitely the wrong.
You better get real inspiration.
This is hip hop is the real universe.
Being from Detroit, just off of this conversation, you know what I'm saying?
This is a
This doesn't say, come on, man. Chill out. Make my father high right here, man. Say shit like that. What's your thoughts on, I heard you speak about it a little bit in Spaces, but with the whole, Big Meech and 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out.
troll, man.
Okay.
50 troll, and I think 50, when he in destruction mode, he ready to destroy at any cost. feel like no real Detroit.
That's a fact. We don't care. I'm in Detroit. We don't care.
The rest of the world look at Beach after what 50 did.
Right.
We don't look at Beach like that.
That's a fact. We don't look at Meech like that.
One thing about Detroit niggas, we know. Because everybody you know is a street or no street or around the street. Everybody's in the streets of Detroit.
Facts.
That's Detroit. The whole mother is the streets. You know what I'm saying? So one thing we know at home. You ain't got no paperwork on you, bro. All that shit.
Ain't no paperwork on Meech. That's a fact.
Yeah, so that's basically what that. You telling them somebody, bro?
Right.
When nobody talking about, you gonna be able to find it.
Exactly.
I don't care what she said, he said, they said, we said. I don't care what you talking about. But you gonna be able to find it.
That's what pissed me off with 50 Cent, him doing Meech like that.
Case when people trying to actually indict him as being a cooperator of any kind. It's just the world we live in today. It's 2025, bro. We live in a world where I feel like Big Meech, I feel like his situation was so fucked up in the world that we live in today. Mm-hmm. I feel like by him and T coming home so far apart, motherfuckers already gave that love to T because he came home already. Now, black people hate black people, bro. Trying to sound
that's a fact.
We hate ourselves, bro.
That's a fact, but I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna end that there. 50 Cent checking in. He wasn't scared of Big U. We back on that. Oh, I gotta close this out. Okay, let me see.
You got the drop on 50 Cent one time? We thought we did until we got in. My callers, Tony was up there. I got up there. We got up there. We came in and strapped it ain't hoodies on them, similes on them, magazine cartridges. I said, yeah, we ain't slipping. Today's not the day. Nah. It's a little different. A little different. I'm glad that didn't happen. You see, but you know that's what we was doing. We never approached it. I'm glad it never happened. People always say 50 Cent is one of the sharpest minds in the rap game. And Wack 100 learned that the hard way. Tony Yayo even put it plain and simple. G-Unit never had to check in with anyone, period. He called them a straight-up militant movement when they were on the move across the country. In 50, he made his mindset real clear. So what's that? Now you trying to throw shots at me. But you could not do nothing to him. I come from a place where you have to be ready. Don't get ready. You gotta be ready. That wasn't just talk either. So when Wack 100 tried to put pressure on 50 Cent and extort him, he wasn't ready for the heat that came his way. So here's the story. Wack 100 was running his mouth on Clubhouse like he usually does. And out of nowhere, he drops this wild tale about 50 Cent. He took it back to the time when 50 was out in LA, still going at it with the Game, who used to be part of G-Unit. Since Wack was managing Game at the time, he decided to step in like some kind of enforcer. According to Wack, he thought he could pull up on 50 and check him, at his hotel room no less. He said he got a tip that 50 was chilling at the SLS Hotel in LA, right at the little bar area. So Wack rolled in with about 10 people deep, thinking they were about to make some kind of power move. But Wack claims the second they walked in, something felt off. The vibe was icy, and that's when it hit him. 50 wasn't sitting there alone. Nah, he was surrounded by what looked like 8 trained killers, dudes who gave off serious Navy SEAL vibes. I'll never forget the move that dude 50 pulled, a move on us, so gangster, Wack said. You got the drop on 50 Cent one time? We thought we did. Right. Until we got in there. He sounded like he was still shook just thinking about it. Turns out, 50 was 10 steps ahead, and Wack walked straight into a setup he didn't see coming. Wack said those dudes around 50 weren't just any bodyguards. They moved like a tight military unit. They were armed, alert, and laser focused, like they were waiting for something to pop off. That's when it hit him. 50 didn't get caught slipping. Nah, he was ready for them.
Wack even started thinking maybe 50 set the whole thing up on purpose, just to show who really runs things. Now here's where it gets messy. Some folks saw Wack's little hotel stunt as an attempt to extort 50, especially since 50 never checked in while in LA. And Wack, he's always going on about how important checking in is. He tries to play it down, saying it's just about letting people know you're in town, like it's no big deal.
50 Cent
He
ain't no
even says he
fool.
checks in himself when he travels. Might be down there Friday, he'll casually say. But anybody who knows the streets knows what checking in really means. See, in the rap world, especially when a city's got heavy gang presence, checking in means reaching out to powerful locals for a pass to move around safely. And trust, that pass ain't always free. It could mean dropping some cash, doing a feature for a local artist, handing over favors, whatever the street bosses want. Some folks say it's just respect, like, yo, I'm in your city, all love. But if that's
Right.
all it is, why are there threats when someone doesn't check in? In LA, some artists go along with it, linking up with gangs for protection like it's street insurance. But not everybody rolls like that.
That's
And
right.
50 Cent, he's made it crystal clear he's not with that program. But guess what? Wack wasn't the only one who tried to press 50. Suge Knight tried it too. Yeah, that Suge Knight. The tension goes way back, before 50 even blew up.
My call is Tony was up there. I got up here. He came in. How deep were you? I'm 15. 15 deep. Yeah, we won that.
It all started with Doc. Dre leaving Death Row and building his own empire. Suge didn't take that too well. Then Dre signed Eminem, and when M brought 50 into the mix under Aftermath, that was like throwing gasoline on a fire. Suge Knight had beef with Dr. Dre for years. And when 50 Cent and Eminem got close with Dre, they ended up inheriting that smoke. Suge wasn't the type to squash old drama and move on. He made sure they knew he was still lurking, always watching, always ready to stir the pot. One of the wildest moments, the N.Dot Club video shoot. Everything was going smooth, cameras rolling, vibes on point, until someone suddenly yelled, "Suge Knight is here!" That one line flipped the whole vibe upside down. Panic spread like wildfire. Suge didn't pull up solo either. He rolled in 30 deep with a crew that reportedly included members of a known Mexican gang. It was straight intimidation. Classic Suge move. He didn't have to say a word. Just showing up like that was enough to shake the whole production. People scattered. 50 and his team went outside, ready for whatever. Suge was all about that show of power. Pulling up unannounced, making heads turn, and flexing his street presence like a warning shot. But things really exploded at the 2004 Vibe Awards. That night was supposed to be about honoring legends. Dr. Dre was getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. Snoop Dogg and Quincy Jones were even there to present it. Everything was lined up to be a historic night in hip-hop. Then, bam, out of nowhere, a man named Jimmy James Johnson stepped up to Dre like he was about to ask for an autograph. But instead, he sucker punched him right there on stage. Total chaos broke out.
Sure did. I remember that.
People were screaming, chairs flying, and 1,000 guests scrambling for the exits in full-blown panic. Right in the middle of the madness, young Buck. Reports say Buck pulled a knife and started swinging it during the fight. It was later confirmed. He stabbed Johnson, supposedly trying to protect Dre. And Buck wasn't alone.
We got up here, we came in and shit. Yeah, Navy SEALs were two in all directions. I was about 6 of them.
Johnson got jumped by multiple people in the crowd before it finally settled down. The whole thing spiraled into a major legal mess. Arrest warrants were issued, and Buck ended up facing charges. And was Suge Knight behind it? Nobody can say for sure, but a lot of signs were pointing in that direction. Tony Yayo even said that not long after the chaos, he spotted Suge Knight and Irv Gotti casually strolling past the G-Unit trailer, like they were just watching the aftermath unfold with smirks on their faces. Something definitely smelled off. That moment alone, Suge and Irv casually strolling past the G-Unit trailer was enough to set off alarm bells. Something shady was definitely brewing behind the scenes. And 50, he wasn't about to get caught off guard. The second he caught wind of the tension, he made a bold move. He reportedly told his team to go out and buy a bunch of knives. Yeah, that's how real it got. The energy was heavy, and 50 could feel something wasn't right. Better safe than sorry. And clearly, He wasn't wrong. In the fallout, Tony Yayo ended up getting slapped with 3 years of probation and had to do 80 hours of community service for his part in the madness. That incident was a reminder. 50 Cent doesn't play when it comes to protection and staying 2 steps ahead of trouble. He's always rolled with serious backup. Not just hired security, but real ones with street sense and loyalty, ready to ride at a moment's notice.
Respect to Eminem, 50, and Terrence Willis. So Suge came, he had some Mexican niggas. Now, we from New York. You ain't never seen a nigga with a tattoo on his forehead. Slice the cigar, and it's the shit about Suge. He liked the cigar, and he trying to see what you gonna do.
One name that always stood out, Monster. If you know, you know. Monster wasn't just some bodyguard in the background. He was 50's enforcer, his right-hand muscle. If you saw 50, Monster was never far behind. Always lurking, always watching. Quiet as a ghost, but dangerous if pushed. This dude was the definition of a silent threat. Low-key, no flashy talk, just all business. He didn't crave the spotlight, and that's why there's not much out there about it. But if you've watched any of 50's old behind-the-scenes footage or club appearances, you've definitely seen Monster lurking in the cut. There's even footage of 50 walking through an airport with paparazzi flashing lights. And there's Monster trying to block the cameras, keeping things tight. Whenever 50 hit the club scene or stepped on stage, Monster was there, posted up, eyes scanning the crowd, making sure nobody even thought about testing the boss.
All right, we're going to end that right there. Oh, I think I'm going to do this. Okay, this is the last one. This is Spider Low.
Yeah, full bad. Alright, so wait a minute. Oh, so that's what the 4 bad means. Let me ask you this, Brent.
No, we're not going to play that. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.